Basically, we were involved with our client to design student housing. As you know, in many cities around the world, there's a lack of student housing in the inner parts of the cities. So the idea was to place housing on barges. And basically, so we started this sort of research, and this is of course not the first time this has been done before. One of the key factors here was to use shipping containers, because you can basically ship your homes anywhere in the world very easily and build up your little city. So basically the urban rigger, as we call it, consists of 9 urban riggers that are configured in this rotational configuration that allows for sort of a ground floor circulation from urban rigger to urban rigger. And higher up you'll have sort of internal views into the courtyards, but you will also have views of the surroundings. So essentially it's like a pontoon out of concrete, 9 urban riggers on top, and then some steel frames that keeps everything together. So essentially it's the home for the student, the block or the small community, and then you have the bigger neighborhood if you start clustering the urban riggers. So for the project in Göteborg or Gothenburg in Sweden, one of the things that happens around in the world is that the harbors are being abandoned, which then starts freeing up very valuable land, but also sort of harbor water. And in the competition pitch, we had to create houseboats and at the same time create a connection between these two neighborhoods on the two shores. And with the urban riggers we could sort of establish this ground floor route, but at the same time also create this green garden walk on the roofs of the urban riggers. And of course these urban riggers can be configured in many different configurations. And this is the proposal that we did for Gothenburg in Sweden. Here you see how they create these sort of inner pockets of water and larger areas where you could go sailing and so forth. We plan to roll it out in phases, in 3 phases. Phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, which basically is an endless configuration, and because they are boats you can reconfigure the system during a few years. They don't require heavy sort of planning processes because essentially it's just a boat. So here are the urban riggers laid out in the Gothenburg harbor. Each of the small urban rigger will have its own sort of ladder to climb in and out of the water. The water is so clean you can swim in it in Gothenburg. On the roof we create this passage, or the green park, that connects all of the different urban riggers. And of course this urban rigger is packed with technology. It's a zero energy building. We actually produce more energy than we take from the surroundings. We have a hydrothermic heating that works exactly like ground, like earth heating. And we use a little bit of the energy that we create from the photovoltaic panels to drive the pumps, and this can basically heat up this entire little complex that consists of 16 apartments for students, and some of them are duplex apartments, so you can basically be around 20 people here. We have a very high efficient insulation inside, and one of the key factors is that because we're using shipping containers, we can recycle or cycle up the containers, which means that instead of crunching it, melting the containers into new containers, we take old shipping containers, which then allows us to spend 1/20th of the amount of energy to produce these houses. When one, because they're having a party here, this one doesn't have energy enough, they're all connected so that the rest of them can sort of feed into this little ecosystem of containers. So these, oh Jesus Christ, then I'm gonna just fly through here. We see some plans. We are in the process of building the first prototype of this. Here are some of the images. So you see here we are now shipping one of them or sailing one of them to Copenhagen Harbor next month. This is from the construction site that we have right now. Thank you.
Okay, and we rush towards the end there.
Yeah.
Jakob Ranger.